How's your morning going? Went to pump some water on. You are now watching Farming with Duffy Ag. Welcome back to the channel. So, we got the sprayer. We gotta get some water filling because I think I got 2 loads today. I do have a problem already. So I ran into center town, dropped some packages off for you guys because, yeah, I was a little behind on merchandise. Pretty well caught up. I got some stuff coming in, but we're restocked on everything except for XLs. So got some product coming in. Takes quite a bit to do merchandise. Now I really see why pretty much everybody uses other people to do their merchandise. But I like keeping everything in-house. I like pushing myself. So alrighty, what we got to do this, well, what I realized was they're having their huge parade, center of town shut down, so it's good I went in. Otherwise we probably would be rolling in and I'd be sitting in traffic. So we can roll around and get to where we need to go. But I gotta start filling with some water and we're gonna dive into our day today. It's gonna be a hot one. I think we're in the 90s. The idea of rain is pretty much falling apart for Monday. I hope they're wrong because they've been wrong every other time. But appreciate you guys watching along and let's get going. Letting that fill up some. So we will need about 1,000 gallons of water for today. So just about 2 loads. That's what I'm thinking. I gotta remember exactly what I'm spraying today, where I'm going, what I've done, what I haven't. I actually remember that all. But yeah, we got one field. Well, we got a section of fields. I got another big field, little field. Yeah, and then we're going Concord. So things should be good. So washing the windows up in here, getting it looking good for you guys, so you can see some stuff, some action, some things. This drives me nuts though. So I'm cleaning up my mess, and I'm not the cleanest person, as you all know, but I do try to keep stuff somewhat clean, organized. I know where stuff is. I know somebody's gonna say the hoop building's a mess. I agree. But anybody who spits sunflower seeds in the tractor cab drives me nuts. It's just like smoking cigarettes in a tractor cab. Drives me nuts too. You never get that smell out of there. I'll never forget, I was at Cobleskill for school in New York, SUNY Cobleskill, and there's a guy detailing a new chopper that had come in that they were going through the deer program with, as far as dealerships and technicians were coming in, and the dude was detailing the chopper and smoking a cigarette at the same time. I'll never ever forget that. And I was like, that kind of defeats the purpose, bud. And I would be so mad if it showed up and it smelled like smoke inside my chopper. But alrighty, I'll get cleaned up in here. I got a bunch of stuff behind the seats, tools, and got all my rags. I got a ton of rags actually. And then we'll clean the windows. Last windows. This front window had a bunch of pine sap on it. Pine sap. Pine sap. Pine sap. It is literally all over the side of the tractor. So somebody drove through a pine tree and it wasn't that way. There's pine sap all down the side. And the mirror is folded in. And that mirror is broken. This is why we can't have nice things. So see right there? It's a big lump of pine sap. And right there is a big. This goes back to there's a difference between an operator and a steering wheel holder. Somebody was just holding the steering wheel and driving into things. A lot of people have asked in the past what the deal is with the whole, my deal with the farm, everything else like that. And so I go over it and explain some of it, but it's really frustrating. And here is why. So this is the farm's tractor. Currently I am punched in, working for the farm. Uh-oh. I think the milk truck's here. So I'm out here messing up Dave's day. Oh, I'm sorry, Dave. Since I'm in his way. He's got it. So Dave watches the channel. He watches right along. Well, I stove my trailer into the rock there because it's sitting up so high. I'll get loaded with some water here, but let me go over exactly what goes on. Jump in here where it's quiet. And then we'll go from there. Plus the AC's on. So let me throw you guys somewhere here. I don't know where I'm going. So, what goes on here that is the frustrating part? Duffy Ag is separate from the farm. And it is my own stuff. I started buying stuff to fill gaps that wasn't there. The farm did not want to haul manure. They wanted to cheap out on that, so I started buying manure equipment. The farm wanted to have a pull type that was slow and convenient for everybody. That costed me 5 weeks of chopping corn the year before I bought the pull type, or the self-propelled. I can't do that. I can't take 5 weeks of my time and chop corn. At the time it was 120 acres. 5 weeks, we were chopping like 3 acres a day and breaking down, having nothing but nightmares. So yeah, I got stuff that you gotta wrench on, but I don't mind wrenching on my own stuff. It's when I wrench on other people's stuff or work hard on other people's stuff who have zero care in the world for it. So people such as my father, he could care less what goes on. Then he gets frustrated that, oh, the crops aren't done. Well, yeah, you didn't give a care in the world this spring. So they had the screener, which royally messed me up. I can't get trucks in well to my hoop building, and they're like, oh, we'll move the piles. No, they built the other pile in front of it, so you can't even move it. And it's loam, so they don't sell much loam. So that was like, that between that and, hey, we can't help you because we're running the screener. So I had zero help really this spring, as you all know. And it's frustrating because I put a lot of heart, a lot of soul, a lot of time, energy, and then I get people, well, I get the farm, my father, that literally could care less about any of the effort that I do. So I confronted him about this tractor being neglected and abused. And like during planting, stuff like that, I took care of the tractor, check things, wash it, clean windows, clean out your trash. The sunflower seeds all over the floor is a direct sign that nobody cares about anything. The smashed mirror is a direct sign. The scratches down the fender, all the sap down the side. And his comment to me when I said, hey, how about you not use this tractor for that? It's my tractor, I don't care. Okay. So I'm pretty frustrated. I would love to go farming somewhere else by myself or with a partner or anything else like that. It's just, it's a lot to figure out, and I'm working on it, but it's challenging. But yes, a lot of people say the farm would be completely lost. I agree. I do pretty much all the crop work. I used to do a bunch of cow work, but there's 4 people that literally work on the farm, and there's 1 of me, and I can barely get them to actually put any effort in on helping me out. Well, there's 4 plus my father. So I used to feed cows and do cow work, and there's just not enough time in the day. If I was by myself and all I did was farm, I could run this farm, both the cow side of it and the crop side of it, with very minimal help. But I'm a different manager than what my father is, and it shows big time. I'm more of an aggressive manager, want to build for the future, want to have a future. So like the product source, my father ignored them when they reached out and said, hey, we'd like to talk to your son, blah, blah, blah. We'd like you to utilize that. He ignored them multiple times. I put GPS in here, and he laughed at it, said, we don't need that. Yeah, we don't. I do. I'm the only one. So when I built the second manure truck, oh, waste of time, blah, 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 just buying junk. So that is the deal with the whole layout, because people do ask, and I got a lot of frustration towards how it's laid out because there's no future plan. I came home from New Zealand, it's been 7 years now, almost 8 years now. I came home with a 10-year plan, sat them down, said, this is what I want to do. Second robot, get more efficient, focus on being able to do more with less, and they laughed at me. Literally laughed at me. So financially, I've said, I'm tied down. Like I make good money, but I also work a lot. Like a lot. And I got financially screwed because I put my name on that second robot, and I was the lead person when that went in. I was the driver. The idea was we put the second robot in, and that was a stepping stone as far as me taking over more and more of it. So I had that, the truck, something else. It was like $250,000 of debt in my name. Between the farm credit took anything that was left in debt of the farm, plus the robot, plus this, plus that, feed pusher, stuff like that. So Chris Duffy had his name as number 1 on that list. So I went to farm credit and I said, okay, like my financials look good. And they said, oh, you have all this debt, but you have no return on it. Because I was showing no actual return on that investment. So I had $250,000 of debt that was getting paid, but I had nothing to account for what I was gaining. So farm credit said, nope, we're not lending you any money. Zero. I couldn't get them to lend me $5 if I asked them. So financially, all of this that I've been doing by myself. There's no banks. Up until last year, Duffy Ag was not an LLC. Well, I'm a sole proprietor, but was not an official business. It was a side hustle. So banks look at that and say nope, and people look at farming and they say, you want to do what with what? Nope. So I am very limited as far as what I can actually do financially. I can't go get a loan to buy $1 million property right now. Biting off that robot, and it took almost 3 years to get them to halfway take my name off it. I still get all the debt bills or all the bills in my name, so it's still not it's frustrating. My father thought that was, oh, it's great, blah, 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 and then he screwed me on that. So that is the frustration. Me and him butt heads, and it's pretty clear in all the videos, so I figured I would let you guys know exactly what goes on, because I'm open about what goes on. And there's a lot of family dynamics, especially with farming, that the next generation gets left with nothing. Stuff falls apart, the world happens, they sell the farm. I have plenty of friends that they were farming with family, and they had some family dynamics, and my friends had 10-20% of the farm. When it came down to it, they had 10-20% of debt, and they were left with nothing. The farm got sold, the land got sold, the equipment got sold, and they were left with nothing. So I do not want to be in that scenario, and that is why I have spent the last 5 years of my life building my own stuff. And I'm trying to get more and more where I'm not relying on the farm. But yeah, I hope I don't sound like I'm just complaining, because I'm just sharing the dynamics of what goes on the farm. And a lot of people ask, and there's people that watch that are friends with my father that then turn around and tell him, oh, Chris is doing this, said that, blah, blah, blah. That is where I'm at. Me and him butt heads, no doubt about it. I'm hard-headed, I have a vision, I speak my mind, I tell what I want to do for the future. He doesn't want to listen to any of it, and makes fun of my junk equipment. Didn't talk to me for 2 weeks after I bought the 7520. His words were, we don't buy junk. And I said, we didn't buy junk. I said, I bought junk. So, and look at it now. It did all of the tillage work for the farm this year. All of it. There's no tractor to help out. So stuff like that, frustrating. You would think somebody who's farming would really appreciate the next generation working hard to keep going, to keep building an empire, to reinvest their money. I'm not out buying toys and all this. Yes, I have that truck, and that's become a money pit, but it also is part of the whole situation. And I'm into it far enough that, yeah, I can't just sell it for a loss now. But other than that, I'm investing. Every dollar I get gets either I eat food, or I'm putting it back into equipment to build for the future. So yeah, I hope I don't come off as I'm complaining and things like that, but I know there's a lot of people in the world that have gone through a lot of the same stuff, and it's frustrating. A lot of people, either they deal with it and nobody ever sees it, or they leave. And I'm in the scenario where I just got to keep pushing through till I figure out where I'm going to go or what I'm going to do. But alrighty, that's where we're at. I do keep a lot of positivity, but that stuff does build up, and it's just frustrating. And I keep pushing forward. I work stupid amount of hours. My day job, as far as working for the dealership, they're grateful, very grateful. My farms that I work at are very grateful. The farm that Great Brook here, they're not grateful for any of it. So alrighty, Dave's coming over to hang out. So we're gonna load some water and get going. Yep, motor is all sorts of messed up, and it's too big for what it is. This hose is a junk for what it is because it kinks up. So I've been having battles all morning. It's like 1:30 in the afternoon now. I haven't sprayed anything. I actually have to go to a farm. I got some things I got to do before we get started this week in Robot World. So I'm gonna take all this stuff off of my trailer, because it's just, I put effort in and nobody else wants to care. So the farm's over there filling with a garden hose. It's gonna take about, how fast does a garden hose fill? Let me look that up. I did look up the average speed of a garden hose, 9 to 17 gallons per minute. I bet that one's like 10 to 12. So it will take an hour to fill that tanker. So it will be 2:30 by the time I get there. By the time I go to spray something, it will be 3. I just can't do this any longer. I can't. I set this up to make my life easier, and stuff that is out of my control is causing all the problems. So I'll get this moved out of the way. Plus, I'm tired of my trailer getting dragged around. It was a nice trailer. Well, it still is a nice trailer, but we're gonna park it. Finally, loaded up, agitating. Gotta throw my source in. So 16 ounces of this would be good for 22 acres. It's 15.4. And then we'll get going. So what we got to do this week, we got to do a little comparison of places that I put a control of no source and then source right next to it. So we got to do that. It will be cool to see side by side. I've seen some really, really good results out of the guys in Maine running it. Like, wild. So, alrighty, I'll throw that in and we'll get going. We'll get this cleaned right up. So what you do first, lift it up, then unfold the wings. Now that we're unfolded, back right up to the woods, otherwise you leave a strip there and it's awkward. They're all off right now, all the shutoffs. So start it, raise your boom, lower it till it hits the locks, and it's building pressure right now, which is good. Once it hits the locks, you lift it up, and then you can put it down, and then from there, get your gear, get your RPMs, put right around 700. Flip your nozzles on and get going. Okay, we're back alive and we are spraying. So now we're doing good. Got it figured out. Needed an update, system refresh. Yeah, technology. But we're spraying along. Some FJ Dynamics auto steer. And we're good to go. We are doing a big update today. I got this Amazon box. I didn't know if Amazon started doing cool stuff. And then I got an alert that it had come. So I think I know what's inside of it based on the picture. But Robert, we're gonna open this up and see. That is one way of advertising that I never even thought it was coming. So Super Pets. They put it on the boxes. People see them everywhere. But let me get in here. Okay. I got the note.
I think it's this one. Okay, what's it say? Enjoy your gift. Hope this helps with the wide equipment. Thanks for great content. Robert J. Zuckerberg. Let me grab that. I think this is what I think it is. Is this a mini strobe light? I've seen these advertised, but I've never actually thought about one. Oh, hell yeah. Look at how tiny that thing is. Okay, let's see if we can figure it out. Okay, this little thing is sweet, and it's super magnetic. Granted, everything in here is plastic, but you can switch them. So, and then they got a front and a rear. So that's the front. That is wild. And then they got brightness. We're gonna have to give this a go at the night. Oh, there we go. That'll get people's attention. Robert, I appreciate it. I never even thought about that, and I can move it around on equipment as I'm moving stuff that's wider, stick it on the back of stuff to get people's attention. And it's chargeable with a C-port, so. Oh, last of the updates, I think. Alrighty, I'm gonna get out of here, go do what I gotta do for my day job. And then we're gonna get back into doing some spraying tonight, well, this evening. So we'll be back. Hopefully I'll get this tank loaded as I'm gone. We'll go spray. I got more than I thought to spray, so I'll check back with you guys in a little bit. Across the street is food trucks. And I love some food trucks. But there's one there, and so far, I'm gonna flip it open for you guys. It's been one of the better lobster rolls it's one of the best lobster rolls I've had. So that is it. Salty's Lobster Shack. Check it out. Oh, I love lobster, so I'm gonna snack on that on my way home. I'll be home, it's gonna be like 8:30. Maybe I'll go take a load and spray. I hate having chemical loaded. We'll see if the chemical is loaded in the tank or not. I hate having chemical loaded in a tank and sitting. If it's loaded, I want to spray it. Since they did fill the sprayer and it's full of chemical, I guess we'll keep going. I'm tired, pretty freaking tired. I ate half of my lobster, well, one roll. So I got the other one. We're finishing updates. That is what we're doing, so. Oh, we're all good. Off we go. We are all updated. Got 3 different updates for all sorts of stuff. Dobson, I don't know who you are, but you hook it up. So, FJ Dynamics, pretty wild. This little flasher disc is gonna be pretty sweet, so appreciate it, Robert. We gotta turn the brightness down on this, otherwise we're gonna be cruising along and blinding ourselves. There we go. So, alrighty, we got quite a trip to go because honestly, if I had more time, we would have been done today. But now my spacing's all messed up, so we're gonna go to Concord, spray an 11-acre section, and then we're gonna come back to Carlisle and spray a 10-acre section. And because I got 22 acres of spray in me, so I'm trying to use all the spray up. And then tomorrow we got another load that's going to go to Concord, that's going to go for water just to my field, water and source. And then we're going to go to do another 5 acres, and then we will, well, I got an acre over here back in the woods by the farm. So it is all screwed up just because my day's been screwed up. And earlier I was a little negative. I was very negative and bitter. I had some food, and ain't nobody else gonna help me as far as the farm, so I just gotta keep pushing. No point in even thinking that they're gonna help me, because that's how it's been all spring. And then I get asked why something's not done. That just pushes me over the edge though, because I'm only one person and I am killing myself over this, and I wish I could run more land. Previously I said I wanted to run more land, and somebody said, well, you can't even get what you have done now. That's because I have zero help. If I ran more land, I could hire somebody full-time to run for me. So instead I'm by myself, relying on help from the farm that it just doesn't come. So I don't get it. But alrighty, we got a long trip ahead of us. 13 miles one way, and then we'll come back. And yes, it seems pretty dumb to run 13 miles, come back, and then tomorrow we're gonna run back over there and spray the rest of it. But the layout, I need an empty tank because I'm not using any pesticides on my ground because of everything. So go back, watch other videos and explain. So, but I want to put source on it because stuff is beneficial. So if you haven't done so, slide on over. Sound Agriculture, the product is Source. Check them out. I'll drop a link below. If you got any questions, I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say, how do I buy it? And I've sent them to the site. But if you reach out to me, Amy, who was here, she was like, we got to hook you up with like a link so we know who's coming, who's telling us this. Because I'm very excited to show some of the yields. Matt up in Maine has started doing root digs, and they've started to put it on potatoes and stuff like that. It's to do more with less in every aspect. And that's what I'm trying to do right now. So let's get across town and we'll see what we get into. I'm glad I got this all back running because that helps me at night drastically. Alright, we're over here. I'm agitating the tank because it sat long enough that I don't like it. So we're over here. Last year, yeah, we got a lot of grass down in the bottom here. Last year, this field had a deficiency in K-Mag, or magnesium. This year, the consistency looks way better. This stuff was planted the same exact day as mine. Mine's way further ahead, and I'm not really sure why, because mine's a lot drier than this ground, so hopefully we got it figured out some. The plan is to put this into grass, because I got a field of grass right there that we seeded last fall. It looks good. All the bare spots are coming in, but I was worried this was going to be way further ahead. Down here, I always have some issues, so it's good we're cleaning it up. We got some Asian knotweed, is that what it's called? Coming into the field, so we're going to clean all that up. Well, I'll let it agitate up a little bit and we'll hammer this out. He's ready to go home. I'm ready to go home. Today did not go according to plan at all, but we pushed through. We got some done. Not nearly what we should have. Tomorrow we got 2 loads to spray, and then we'll be caught up on everything. We got some top dressing I'm gonna do on some ground that's a little bit yellow. That one field, when we came out of it, it's got some magnesium deficiency still in it, so that's gonna be an expensive load of fertilizer. But it is what it is. We're fighting through, we're pushing through. Corn looks good overall. We need rain. We need a lot of rain. I don't think we're actually gonna get it, so that's pretty challenging. Alrighty, tomorrow, hopefully a better day, and we will see what goes on. But I appreciate you guys watching along. Yeah, you guys have watched the good, the bad, the ugly, the fun, and all the growing. So appreciate you guys. See you on the next one.